The offer in compromise. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, I know you've heard of it. You've seen the ads online and heard them on the radio. Companies promise to settle with the IRS for pennies on the dollar. But is that really the way an offer works? Can you really settle with the IRS for pennies on the dollar? Today, I'm going to go over the offer in compromise process with actual numbers from an actual taxpayer. On the other side of the break.
1-877-LEVY-KING, LevyKing.com.
What's up, guys? Corey Hankerson here from Legacy Tax, and they call me the Levy King because I've helped thousands of clients with unfiled returns, back taxes, tax liens, and that's right, IRS levies. If the IRS took your check, the Levy King will get it back. 1-877-LEVY-KING, LevyKing.com. I'm also the author of End the Tax Nightmare, Insider Secrets to Beat the IRS and Reduce Your Tax Debt. Inside the book, I'll show you how to stop IRS levies, liens, and garnishments without paying the tax in full. How to set up the payment plan you want, not the one they want. And how to potentially settle your tax debt for less than you actually owe. My book has been a top seller on Amazon for years. You can buy it right now for $19.99. But I want to give you a copy of the book absolutely free. Just go over to my website, www.endthetaxnightmare.com, and enter your name and email. And I'll send you a copy right away. No charge, not even for shipping, totally free. Before we go any further with the video, take a moment to subscribe to my channel and smash that like button so you'll be notified each time we drop a new video. Offer in compromise. I know you have questions. What is it? How does it work? And do you qualify? I'm going to analyze an offer in compromise prospect by using real numbers from an actual case. But first, a little background. There are three types of offers. There's the offer based on doubt as to liability. There's the offer based on effective tax administration. And then there's the offer based on doubt as to collectability. An offer based on doubt as to collectability is the most popular of the three. It's the most popular by a long shot, actually. So in this video, I'm going to assume that that is the type of offer we're talking about here. When you submit an offer based upon doubt as to collectability, you are basically saying, look, IRS, yes, I owe you some money, some tax money. I got some back taxes, right? But I can't afford to pay it. And you'll never be able to collect it from me during the 10-year time period that you have to collect it. So to understand the offer and compromise process, you got to understand three concepts. The first is what they call the collection statute expiration date, or CSED. The second is reasonable collection potential, known as RCP. The third is the monthly discretionary income, or MDI. And the fourth is net equity in assets, or net asset equity, NAE. Now, the collection statute expiration date is the date after which IRS tax debt becomes uncollectible. They can no longer pursue you via enforced collection like liens, levies, wage garnishments, seizures, etc. This is generally 10 years from the date that the tax debt was assessed. Okay. Now, reasonable collection potential, or RCP, is the amount that the IRS could expect to collect through enforced collections without regard to an offer in compromise. So, in other words, how much could they get if they came after you with wage garnishments and bank levies? Moving right along, monthly discretionary income, or MDI, is your gross income minus your allowable expenses. And then finally, we have the net asset equity, or NAE, which is every asset you own minus any debt on those assets. Things like the value of your house minus the mortgage, the value of your car minus the car note. That's your net asset equity. So the first things we're going to need to do is establish how much debt we're actually talking about here and when is the CSED. So in this example, our client owed a total of $225,000 from 2017, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. The next thing we need to know is what is the CSED. In this case, the last tax debt would expire on May 5th of 2032. So the central question with an offer is, can you pay the IRS in full before the debt expires? There's a formula they use to determine whether or not you can pay. Let's start with the assets. Your assets are things like real estate, vehicles, retirement accounts, and so forth. The net equity in assets is the value of those assets minus any outstanding liabilities. The values of the car minus the car note, like we said before. The home minus the mortgage, the retirement account minus any outstanding loans, okay? So in this case, our taxpayer has $10 in cash on hand. That's literally cash in his pocket. The IRS gets down, that granular with the details. So he's got $1,000 in the bank. He's got $25,000 in a retirement plan, but he had previously taken out a $9,500 loan against that account. He has a primary residence worth $550,000 with a mortgage balance of $408,000. And then he has a $35,000 vehicle with a loan balance of $28,000. Now, once we apply the exemptions and calculate the relevant quick sale values, the net asset equity in this case is $42,510, which must be included in the offer amount. Next up is going to be income and expenses. In this case, the taxpayer has a monthly income of $4,700 and the spouse earns $5,100 for a combined total of $9,800. The allowable expenses are $9,537 for a household of 4 in the area that they live. For this purposes, we're going to say they're in the Atlanta metro area, right? Now, that leaves a discretionary income of $263 per month. Multiplied by 12, we get $3,156, which must be included in the offer and compromise. Once again, our formula is monthly discretionary income multiplied by 12 plus your net asset equity. Therefore, the minimum amount we must offer is $45,666 to satisfy a $225,000 tax liability. That's a savings of over 80% or about $180,000. To make this deal work, he would need to submit the offer with a 20% deposit or $9,133. The remaining $36,000 would need to be paid in 5 installments of $7,306. That's $7,300 a month. Now, understand that if for any reason the IRS does not accept your offer, they're going to keep that $9,300 deposit and they're going to apply it to the $225,000 tax debt that this taxpayer has. Now, I know that $45,666 is still a lot of money. And I know that you're used to seeing and hearing radio and online ads where people settle their tax debt for literally pennies on the dollar. But a deal like this is more in line with what we actually see when we have a taxpayer with good income and some assets like retirement savings and, some home equity and things of that nature. So I wanted to present a more realistic picture of what an actual offer could potentially look like for your regular taxpayer. Okay, it should be noted that while this particular taxpayer in this example does qualify for an offer, they might decide that an offer is not their best option and select one of the other methods of resolving a tax problem, such as the partial pay installment agreement or PPIA. The PPIA would be about $263 a month for 86 months. Now, listen. I know that everybody wants to hear about a settlement, right? Nobody wants to hear about a payment plan. But in this case right here, the partial pay installment agreement would result in the total payments paid back to the IRS of $22,618. That means they would repay less than 10% of what they owe, which is a much better deal than an offer and compromise in this particular example. I'm just saying, it happens like that all the time. Okay, if you owe back taxes to the IRS or the state, you don't have to fight it alone. And if you'd like me to review your case and help you determine if you qualify for an offer and compromise or one of the other IRS resolution options, I want you to schedule an appointment by clicking the appointment link in the description below. You can also give my office a call. You can reach us at 1-877-LEVY King. That's 1-877-538-9546.
1-877-Levy King, Levy Levy King, 1-877-Levy King, LevyKing.com. your check? Call the Levy King, he'll get it back. 877 Levy King, LevyKing.com. 1-877-LEVY